Welcome, everyone, to a great Sunday night with the NBA here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan here alongside my colleagues Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke will be joining us from the...
All right.
And so here is Chicago. It's a three-point game. So for Chicago right now, inside, Gibson and Noah. D. Rose and Jimmy Butler, the backcourt. And it's McDermott in at the 3 spot.
You can always depend on him to put the pass right on the money. A theme that has unfortunately come up for this Orlando franchise is their inability to keep a franchise talent for long. Of course, you think both about Shaq and Dwight Howard and their exits.
6 to shoot. Here's Oladipo. A nice job to get the runner to go. Oladipo's got 9 points. Ben Gordon's checked in for Orlando.
In a moment here now to see the numbers for Joakim Noah. An incredible last month for him. You see where he stands. He's around 14 points per game, 12 rebounds, and 3 assists. Well, we know what sets him apart. It's his rebounding, and those numbers have really been there for him.
Yeah, they sure have. He's been contributing in a few different ways, but nothing really matches the work he's done on the glass. Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's a physical game, and so far the numbers show that they've got the edge on the glass.
And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. Maurice Harkless is checked in for Orlando. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Jay Crowder's checked in for Gibson. Dunleavy comes in for McDermott. Tony Snell's checked in for Jimmy Butler. And it's Heinrich in for Derrick Rose. Snell, no good. For the Orlando Magic, they come in off a good outing against the Los Angeles Lakers.
And Kevin, in that game, we saw a lot of sloppy play from the opposing offense. They coughed the ball up way too often.
Yeah, and that did make things really easy, guys. Nice to get a win if you're on that side of it and not to have to work too hard for it.
Both free throws good from Captain Clutch. And his old high school coach is an attendee at today's game, Clark. I believe they still stay in close contact, even though he's now in the NBA.
And, you know, you always have to keep perspective by remembering where you came from, no matter what you're doing, but certainly in the NBA. And it's nice to see that he does that by still staying in touch with his old coach. Kirk Heinrich in his 12th season out of Kansas. Remember covering this guy in college. Still a quality defensive combo guard. At 6'4", tremendous IQ and anticipation really helps him at the defensive end. And he's I think a little underrated offensively too.
Stolen away. Oh, and a fast break for the Bulls. Heinrich's got the ball. Snell, no good. Magic leading by 3. The pass to Captain Clutch. 41 seconds left here in the first quarter. Drains the 19-footer. Heinrich playing big numbers for the Bulls last season. But Steve, his shooting percentages have started now to tail off over the last few years.
You know, I think his defense is really what keeps him on the court at this point, Kevin. Offensively, still a good playmaker and a decision maker, but he's not going to be a big scorer.
Dunleavy kicks to Snell. Misses the 3.
So far on the glass, it hasn't even been close.
Yeah, they're taking it to him. I mean, just getting physical. Like, it feels like they've got every rebound, Clark.
Pass to Gordon. Fires from deep, and he gets it to go. Gordon's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Here's Heinrich. That's good. Here's Brunson. The shot is off. And that concludes.
On tap this Monday, February 9th. Nick.
With the second quarter beginning, they're going with an almost entirely new group here. Vucevic checked in for Fry. Gordon comes in for Maurice Harkless. Captain Clutch, he's checked in for Oladipo. And it's Payton in for Luke Ridnour. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. Joakim Noah is checked in for Gibson. McDermott comes in for Jay Crowder. Tony Snell's checked in for Jimmy Butler. And it's Dunleavy in for Derrick Rose. Harris at the 4, Vucevic in the middle. Payton is out there with Captain Clutch, and it's Gordon in at the 3 slot. That's who's out there for Orlando.
And the defense did just enough to throw him off that shot.
Dunleavy dishes to Heinrich. There's the pick. Dunleavy, the pass to Heinrich. Here's Snell. Sinks the triple. Snell's got his first 3 points of the game.
You know, when he's got that kind of a height advantage on the defender, it's just too easy for him to rise up and get the shot off.
Here's Captain Clutch. A 20-point game for him in the win against the Lakers. Count that one. Gordon's got his second basket of the night.
Oh, the rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
I thought it might be a little imprudent to try to get those points right back, but it worked.
And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. Bulls shooting their third free throw attempt of the game.
Well, how about the numbers for this club? As a team, 79% from the free throw line this year.
Really, guys, it's just come together for them at the charity stripe this season. I mean, the confidence is there, and so too are the results.
Heinrich kicks to McDermott. Back to Heinrich. Shot clock at 6. Shoots from the high post. No good. Great D that time from Payton.
You know, they haven't been able to open up a big lead, but the rebounds are starting to add up for them. They may be able to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, they've been doing the dirty work inside, Steve, playing a very tough brand of basketball.
Here's Captain Clutch. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And we're through 2 here and a good one. Magic lead by 3. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Coach, obviously a tough start for your team defensively, but things seem to improve throughout the first half. What were you seeing out there tonight?
Yeah, no, we didn't do a good job to start the game. They were going wherever they wanted to go. So we have to do a much better job of playing the ball and then giving the appropriate help.
Hey guys, some keys to talk about from what I've seen so far. This is a tight ball.
And now the start of the second half.
It's go time. Check in. I'm on it.
In for Payton. Then for the Bulls. Crowder, he's checked in for Noah. And it's Heinrich in for McDermott. Taking a look at the Bulls. Heinrich and Rose, the guards. Jay Crowder out there with Taj Gibson. And it's Butler in at the small forward. Now here's Harkless. He's got 6. 18 feet out. Rebound by the Bulls. Their last encounter was in Chicago.
Now, the last meeting was very sharp defensively, causing a lot of turnovers, and that swayed the game in their favor.
For the Magic, Gordon's checked in for Victor Oladipo, and it's Captain Clutch in for Luke Ridnour. Tony Snell's checked in for Chicago. Dunleavy comes in for Jimmy Butler. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Hi, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Tom Thibodeau was giving to his team. Derrick Rose was the focus of the discussion. He wants their offense to run through him. Coach would like to see him utilized in the offense as much as possible. We can expect to see them going to him constantly. Probably a good time to make some changes with a good chunk of the second half still to go, Kevin.
And thanks for that story, Doris. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Derrick Rose. What an easy win for him last time. As Steve mentioned, Clark, the turnover differential was a major factor.
Yeah, I call it disruptive in a word from the defensive standpoint. They were all over him the whole game.
Noah with a screen on Harris. Snell, that's good. Snell's got the lead up to 5 now for the Bulls.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
I think it's time to make some adjustments defensively, Mark. I mean, what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Chicago's gone 6 of 14 with the 3 ball tonight, just a little over 40%. There's a good screen. Gibson inside. Pass to Dunleavy. Harkless with the steal. Fast break. Here come the Magic. Here's Brunson. Finish. Off the break. And now just a 1-point Bulls lead.
That is such good work to make this a one-possession game. Terrific steal to get it all started.
Yeah, it's one thing to create a turnover, but just so in alertly turn it into a transition opportunity. That's even better.
Gibson dishes to Dunleavy. Now here's Heinrich. He's guarded close. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
Well, you know, Taj Gibson was the 26th pick back in 2009 coming out of USC. And boy, what a get for the Bulls. He's a defensive-minded big man who can defend the 4 and 5 positions, and he's also got a very reliable mid-range jumper.
That free throw, no good.
And for Taj Gibson at 6'10", a 7'4" wingspan, that length helps make him disruptive, an excellent defender and shot blocker.
And Orlando making a change here. Vucevic is checked in. He hits the second from the line. And Gibson very mobile, able to cover ground defensively.
Yeah, he's got a slender build, Kevin, but he's a worker in the weight room. Slight and light, but Coach Thibodeau says he's the team's hardest worker and he's getting stronger. You know, sometimes the intensity of the game can lead to brain-neutral plays like that, guys.
Well, Chicago has gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. 1 second. Operating the shot clock and game clock. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. He's made 1 and missed 1 so far in the game.
76% of the stripe for him to this point of the season.
And he knocks down the first one. And Orlando making a change here. And both free throws good from Gibson.
Of course, he didn't have an attempt there in the first half. He's hoping to be a little bit more active and aggressive here and draw some fouls here in the second.
Here's Captain Clutch. He gets it up. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And as we end the third quarter, a great game. Both teams playing well. It's the Bulls. They're up by 4. 2K Sports, back in a moment from the Amway Center.
This Wednesday, February 11th, Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks take on Nikola Vucevic and the Orlando Magic. Make sure to catch it.
moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assist. Orlando making some changes. Channing Fries checked in for Harkless. Harris comes in for Evan Fournier. And Gordon subbed in for Victor Oladipo. And the Bulls making a change here as well. Gibson's checked in. Fly and Vucevic are the power forward and center. Van Gordon out there with Payton. And it's Harris in at the small forward. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Magic.
And are they ever working inside? Good job on the glass.
Excellent job on the glass, Steve. I agree. I mean, they're battling in there. They're fighting, they're scrapping, they're clawing, and they're getting the job done.
In clutch, he's checked in for Payton. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Hi, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Tom Thibodeau was giving to his team. He told the players, let's put our foot on them and keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
Here's Captain Clutch. He's covered by Rose. That's good. Jalen! And 12 points for Captain Clutch. Clark, they can burn some clock if they want to.
Yeah, and maybe buy a little oxygen while they're doing it.
Rose passes to Noah. McDermott kicks to Rose.
2 minutes, less than 2 minutes remaining.
McDermott dishes to Rose.
What a game for Rose. He has 17 points, and the three-pointers have been dropping for him. He's got 3 of them.
Well, as long as he's continuing to make them, I think they should make him more of a focal point of this offense.
And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Bulls.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon.
Making a change here as well. Captain Clutch, he's checked in for Payton. Then for the Bulls, Tony Snell's checked in for Gibson. Dunleavy comes in for McDermott. And it's Heinrich in for Jimmy Butler. Here's Snell, guarded by Fry. In the corner, it's Noah, and out of bounds is the Magic will gain possession.
Well, he just didn't make the catch, didn't look the ball into his hands. He must have thought the ball was going somewhere else.
Chicago making some changes. Taj Gibson's checked in for Tony Snell. McDermott comes in for Mike Dunleavy. And it's Jimmy Butler coming in for Derrick Rose.
The offense just getting right to the rim, but at least they saved the layup with the foul.
That's old school basketball rules. I mean, at the end of the day, no easy layup. Earn it from the line.
So the first one drops, and that narrows the lead down to just 3. Both free throws good from Captain Clutch.
That was essential that he cashed in on those free throws. They're within 1 possession.
Chicago's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Noah with a screen for Heinrich. And Gibson now atop the key. Back to Heinrich. And now we've got the intentional foul. First free throw is good, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's a 4-point ball game.
That's going to be it. Great work at the charity stripe. That'll close this game out.
Near the 3-point line, it's Gordon. Once again off the mark, Orlando.
You just assume he's going to knock those down when he's as open as he was there.
And so the big win by Chicago in a tight game. Clark, it was anybody's game right to the very end.
Yeah, it was. The coach is happy with the outcome. This team kept their emotions in check and got it done.
And so now we'll go down to Doris Burke, who's standing by live with our Jordan Player of the Game. Doris?
Derek, tremendous work on the glass.
There he is. Hey, how are things back home?
Same as they ever were.
All right.
Listen, when you gonna come over to the house and have dinner? You know, Jeannie thinks I haven't invited you yet.
All right. Listen, tell her as soon as things slow down for me. So probably in the off season, okay?
All right, sounds like a plan. Now listen, you stay focused out there. Make your old ball coach proud.
All right. Yes, sir, I will, okay?
All right.
All right.
A lovely golden hue cast on the south portico of the White House here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. On the road and hungry for a win against an Eastern Conference rival, the Orlando. Harkless is checked in for Vucevic. Fournier comes in for Harris. And Gordon subbed in for Oladipo. So on the floor for Orlando, Harkless is out there with Channing Frye. Then it's Evan Fournier. Then there's Payton. And it's Gordon in at the 2.
And we get a chance to see the numbers. Around 18 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. And you really can't find much fault with him as far as his performances lately.
Yeah, he's been very, very dependable, steady, doing pretty much everything they've asked of him.
Here's Fournier. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet. Fournier's got his first bucket of the night.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
Evan Fournier out of France struggled with his shot early last season, but he rallied somewhat down the stretch. Still very young with an impressive skill set. He's definitely a player to watch.
Here's Captain Clutch. Last time out he had 14 points. And here's Wall. He dishes it to Beal. Back to Wall. Cashes in for a double-digit lead. Wall's got 10 points.
It has taken them no time to build this lead up on the strength of a great first quarter offensively.
And they need to continue to put pressure on the defense and try to really run away with this one from here. Great job of utilizing that screen and finding space to knock down the jumper. Good basketball.
Washington leading now by 8. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Kevin, the Wizards head coach had a couple of moments for me. I asked him where he thought they have an advantage in this game, and he said our shot blocking is one thing that really sets us apart. Now, we have to be solid all around, but that does help us quite a bit when it comes to sending away penetration and shot attempts inside. Kevin, never something you want to rely on, but always a great backup to have.
All right, great stuff, Doris. Thanks. And guys, not too much of a surprise. The defense is going to be the emphasis.
Yeah, that's the type of team they are. I mean, they always seem to feed off of that defense, just really trying to attack and force some turnovers and get out and run.
Exactly, Steve. I mean, that's really what drives them on a game-to-game basis.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Seraphin comes in for Gortat. And Andre Miller has subbed in for Paul Pierce.
And he was one step ahead of the defense when he fired that pass for the assist.
It's Wall with the drive. Again, the miss by Wall.
You'd expect him to nail that one being that close to the hoop.
Here's Brunson. Rebound, Washington. Coming off that loss against the Nets.
And what stands out from that game, Clark, is that they let a lot of points slip through their fingers at the free throw line.
Yep, and I think some doubt started to creep in as well when they kept missing their foul shot. Guys seem to tighten up and start alligator arming those things.
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Gordon, the pass to Captain Clutch. Puts it up. It's rebounded by Seraphin.
It's still early, but they've started to establish themselves on the glass here.
Yeah, and that's due to their physical play. They're scrapping and clawing for each and every rebound out there. And he may be the guy to put this game even farther out of reach.
Here's Captain Clutch. Jacks up a 3. And it's, yeah, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
Boy, ends the quarter with a dead-eye 3 as the buzzer sounds.
They had that set up, I think, Steve, and he timed it perfectly.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. All right, well, look at how the points have been generated so far. Scoring breakdown for the Wizards.
And some great drives to the bucket for them to this point, guys.
They're also having a lot of success from the free throw line tonight. You always want to cash in from there.
Checked in for Washington. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Channing Frye's checked in for Vucevic. Fournier comes in for Maurice Harkless. Ben Gordon's checked in for Victor Oladipo. And it's Captain Clutch in for Payton. And so in the game for the Magic, Brunson, he's in at the point. Channing Frye out there with Tobias Harris. And there's Ben Gordon. And it's Fournier in at the 3 slot.
Brunson.
1:43 left to play here in the second quarter. Wall attacking. Outside for Beal. Back to Wall. Shot is off. And Orlando the other way now. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Chicago.
And you don't need to dig too deep into the box score to figure out why they lost the game. I mean, their shooting percentage was abysmal.
You know, sometimes we talk about the defense getting into the heads of the opposing players, but it seemed that night they got in their own heads, couldn't get out of their own way as they lost confidence at the offensive end. They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
Yeah, it sure has, Clark. I mean, with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, they really haven't had to do much on the perimeter.
Here's Brunson. Misses off the right iron.
Really good work defensively. This coach has to be happy with his team.
Yeah, forcing that miss right there, great effort.
Well, you knew he'd win that race.
Definitely. I mean, that's what you call early offense.
And that one's good. Captain Clutch's got 13.
What a job he's doing here. I mean, his second quarter has been even better than his first, and that was pretty good.
30 seconds left in the second quarter. All with it, picked up by Harris. Pass to Seraphin. Here's Beal. Misses off the left iron.
I don't know if it's just me, but he's looked a step slow since the start of the quarter. His shooting has really suffered.
16 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Nene setting the pick for Wall. Outside Pierce. There's the 3. And Wall gets it to go in on the assist by Pierce. And that's 15 points for Wall.
And he gets a 3 of his own. Good answer there.
Yeah, and he's not scared to trade shots like that.
And that concludes the first half. Wizards lead by 8. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Kevin, I've got Paul Pierce, and the truth, what's been the key to your efficiency tonight?
Well, I'm just taking my time. You know, I know I was going to pick up as time goes along, and I started getting to a good flow. So I got some good shots and just took my time.
Thank you for the time, sir. Guys, back to you.
Thank you so much, Doris. Great interview as always. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with the second half of basketball shortly.
All right, we've got some work to do, but it's not too late. Let's put our stamp on the second half.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. For the Wizards, Kevin Seraphin, he's checked in for Nene, and Miller's subbed in for Paul Pierce. Then for the Magic, Maurice Harkless is checked in for Frye, and Luke Ridnour subbed in for Payton. All out there with Miller. Then it's Gortat. Then it's Kevin Seraphin. And it's Beal in at the 3. That's the 5 on the 4 for the Wizards. Captain Clutch, he's checked in. Oladipo. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Thank you, guys. I got a chance to hear what Randy Whitman was saying to the team. Captain Clutch was the focus of the discussion, and he wants their offense to run through him. Coach is calling on him to play a big role in the offense for the rest of this game, to really be one of the key guys for them down the stretch. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the fourth quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. And that is good.
Boy, what a great job making good on the second opportunity. He stayed with that play from start to finish.
Wall dishes to Beal. The fader. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And that's 19 points for John Wall.
Tobias Harris, a combo forward, originally drafted by the Bucks out of Tennessee. I love his game. He does a little bit of everything and does it all well. He can handle. He shoots it a bit from outside. Not sure what his best position is going forward, but he's a quality player.
4 on the clock. Here's Harkless. It's blocked. 1:10 left here in the third quarter. And Wall kicks to Seraphin. The feed to Beal. Goes back up. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot. Beal's got 4 this quarter. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Wizards.
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
Also, you can see how they've gotten after it defensively. I mean, the steal totals are really something to admire.
And Harris, to this point in his career, has fared better defending small forwards. But Stevie continues to get stronger.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, kind of what should help him inside as he continues to grow defensively. The stronger you are, you know, the more effective you're going to be against those fours. And I think ultimately you'll be able to see Harris guard a lot of the fours in this league, particularly the stretch fours.
Nene, he's checked in for Washington. Pierce comes in for Beal. Fournier's checked in for the Magic. Gordon comes in for Luke Ridnour. There's 31 seconds left to play in the third. Miller, the pass to Serafin.
Orlando foul call. Nikola Vucevic. That's his third personal foul.
This is his first free throw of the game.
Kevin Serafin. At the line for two.
That free throw, no good. And he's good on the second. The Magic trail by 20. Here's Captain Clutch. 16 points for him.
And little to no chance of that shot going in.
Yeah, that was a tough one right there.
Feeds to Pierce. Miller inside. Shot by Serafin, no good. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. It's the Wizards running away with it. We'll be back shortly live from the Verizon Center. And now a brief chance to view our State Farm assist of the game. It's one of 7 terrific assists on the night from John Wall.
And what you love about his ability to pass the ball, Kevin, is that it just seems so natural to him, so fluid. He's always in control, understanding where his teammates are and anticipating passing angles.
Here, Gortat's checked in. Orlando also making some changes. Harris comes in for Fournier, and it's Victor Oladipo in for Gordon. So on the floor for Orlando, at the 2 and 3, it's Oladipo and Tobias Harris. Fry and Vucevic are the power forward and center, and it's Payton in at point guard. 6 on the shot clock, Oladipo, and that one's good. Oladipo's got 4 points now in the quarter. Bradley Beal's checked in for Miller. Captain Clutch.
Wizards timeout called. In for the Magic, Jalen Brunson.
Washington leading now by 16. Kicks it to Pierce. Nene with the screen on Harris. Pierce dishes to Nene.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
That's good. And the Wizards lead by 18.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
Here's Captain Clutch, covered by Wall. Off the screen. The shot no good. Wizards have gone 4 of 10 here in the final period. Not the time to go cold. There's the pass to Nene. And Gortat kicks to Wall. And he gets the bucket. Wall's got 22.
And tack on a few more points to the lead. Why not? I suppose this is an emphatic showing for this club.
They did it in style, a beat down the entire way.
So for the Wizards, Kevin Serafin, he's checked in for Nene. Webster comes in for Paul Pierce. And Garrett Temple subbed in for John Wall. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Vucevic. Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Channing Frye. Fournier's checked in for Harris. And Luke Ridnour subbed in for Victor Oladipo. 6 to shoot. And the basket by Webster.
And guys, with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who's watched it. I mean, just a total mismatch in a true show of strength for the Wizards.
But Steve, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out. Clark, this is kind of punishment.
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
So looking at the season total, this will be their 17th win.
And I think they needed this win, guys, if for nothing else than to gain a split in the 4 games of the season series.
You know, that's definitely something. I'm sure it meant a lot to him, not letting a conference opponent get the better of him.
You look at the stats and you'll see just how dominant a game this was for John Wall. Every time he shot it seemed like it was just going to drop in, and nobody was surprised.
And the shot's good from Captain Clutch. The Wizards have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the 4th, and even 50%. Gortat inside, and terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2.
And the fans loving what's transpired here tonight. A really good victory for these guys.
Sure was. I mean, they did just what they needed to do to keep the visitors from getting any momentum going at all.
The shot's good from Captain Clutch. 26 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Here's Temple. 15 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Passes it to Bullock. 6 to shoot. Low block shot. Shot is off. And so it's Washington easily grabbing this one. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
And now let's go over to Doris Burke on the sideline for an interview with the Jordan Player of the Game. Doris, take it away.
I'm here with John Wall, and congratulations on the win. And for you personally, John, what was your approach offensively?
Just having confidence. My teammates want me to shoot it enough, and I didn't get carried.
Welcome, everyone. This is what you've been waiting for. The NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. Looking back to the last matchup between these two teams, it was Orlando who was unable to get it done against the Knicks. So far, no luck against this team. They've dropped both of the games in the previous 2 matchups this season.
And you look at the stats.
The Magic trailed by 7. And New York looking at who they've got. Melo is the 3. Amari is at the 4. Calderon and Smith are the 1 and the 2. And it's Dallenberg in at the 5 spot. Payton drives in. Back to Harris. 5 on the clock. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. Captain Clutch.
A moment here to take a look at some stats for Oladipo. He's putting up about 12 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he's really been pulling his weight. I mean, we're finding his name in a lot of different columns in their box scores.
Yeah, and that's what they're looking for from him, Steve. He doesn't have to be the star, just somebody with solid contributions across a wide range of areas.
Shots good by Anthony. Carmelo Anthony, one of the league's elite scorers, no doubt.
No question about it, Kevin. I mean, really versatile as a threat. He can back you down because he's strong. He's a lot stronger than people realize. He can bump and grind with the best of them, and he can face you up. He's got the quick release. He can pull up off the dribble. He can catch and shoot. He can post. He can get to the offensive glass. And I think he's become a much more consistent threat from long range as well. So that's why he's got a career scoring average of around 25 a game.
Dallenberg passes to Carmelo. Calderon has the open look. Stoudemire, and they finally get it to go. A full night's work on the boards in one trip down the floor.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the boards.
Yeah, and even though it's early, I mean, that's a great sign for them for the rest of the game. Intelligent passing there to make that hoop possible.
For the New York Knicks, they come into this one following a loss to Miami.
Yeah, I thought their defense in that game was about as shaky as it could be. At home, you know, that kind of defense isn't going to cut it. Never mind if you're on the road.
They really look tired to me, and I don't know if they had travel issues or if they were out too late, but something was amiss because they had no energy.
54 seconds left to play here in the first, and he converts the layup. Here's Captain Clutch. He has 6. He kicks to Oladipo. Goes up on the wing. Again, the Magic score.
Boy, beautiful assist. That's a couple of teammates clearly on the same page.
New York leading by 4. Calderon kicks to Stoudemire. 34 seconds left in the first quarter. Dallenberg with a screen on Harris. Shot clock at 5. Anthony drives in. The shot from the low post is good. Anthony's got his second bucket of the night.
Don't take your eyes off of him because he can make plays from multiple spots on the floor. Put the isolated cam on him.
The shot's good from Captain Clutch.
This quarter has brought out the best in him, fellas. Even though they're still trailing, he's been impossible to contain.
Anthony kicks to Stoudemire. Back to Anthony, and it's out of bounds. The Knicks able to retain possession here.
Super defensive play. I mean, if that pass gets through, it's probably 2 points.
And he knew that. He knew if it gets through, it's a score, so that's why he sold out for it and got a hand on it.
The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. Knicks lead by 4. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter.
Tune in this Friday night, February 20th. Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans.
Set to start. And what stands out to you from New York in this one?
And I thought they built this lead mainly because of their work on the glass. They really dominated the rebounding totals.
And it takes an effort from all 5 guys to get a rebounding advantage like that. Everybody has to rebound the ball. That's how you finish off your defense.
Mo Harkless and Tobias Harris, the forwards. Captain Clutch is out there with Ben Gordon, and it's Vucevic in at the 5. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Magic. Here's Brunson. The shot is off. The Knicks go the other way with it.
You know, not really a significant margin in terms of them rebounding, but enough to get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, it's helping them get the lead. And if they can continue to rebound like this, I think they're going to be in pretty good shape.
Here's Anthony. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Yeah, the defense looking to protect the rim at all costs.
I like that shooting.
Ridnour's checked in. Both free throws good from Anthony. Captain Clutch, he's checked in for Gordon. And it's Payton in for Luke Ridnour. So for the Knicks, Dallenberg sets a screen for Calderon. Passes to Larkin. Back to Calderon. Larkin dishes to Calderon. Blocked. Payton passes to Harkless. Here's Brunson. Smith with the defensive effort.
Had a pretty good look at the basket, but defensively they did a nice job rotating, forcing the miss.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will take it. And, of course, for the Knicks, a huge part of their value comes from playing in the Big Apple.
Yeah, I agree with that, Kevin. The business and media capital of the United States, you know, they go out of their way to attract the big stars to the games. Courtside seats for the top names. It helps give the Knicks a lure, kind of a glamour that a lot of franchises don't have.
The Knicks leading by 4. The 11-footer, that misses off the backboard.
Well, that's a bad miss right there. I mean, you'd like to see him be a little more assertive when he has such good position.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Captain Clutch, covered by Smith. No good from Captain Clutch.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Banked in off the glass. Larkin's got 4 points this quarter.
I'd say that shot was well within his range.
You think so? I mean, I was pretty good from 2 feet and in myself. That's a gimme there.
It'll count. No good on the buzzer beater. That'll do it for the first half. New York ahead, up by 6. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Bill Carmelo, after this first half of play, what do you believe the team needs to focus on from here on out?
Well, just communication and trusting one another. When somebody get beat, the next guy got his back, and we're just trying to get up and down, get going some way, somehow. For the most part, we did pretty good. A couple of adjustments on the defensive end. Make some shots, and we'll be fine.
Hey guys, some keys to talk about from what I've seen so far. This is a tight ball game.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Maurice Harkless is checked in for Fry. Fournier comes in for Tobias Harris. Gordon's checked in for Oladipo. And Luke Ridnour subbed in for Payton. And a new group in for the Knicks. Bargnani is checked in for Dallenberg. Mon Shumpert has come in for Amari Stoudemire. Hardaway's checked in for J.R. Smith. And it's Pablo Prigioni in for Jose Calderon. And New York, who they've got, Shumpert and Anthony are at the forward slots. Tim Hardaway Jr. out there with Pablo Prigioni. And it's Bargnani in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Captain Clutch, he's checked in for Orlando. And it's Shumpert penetrating. Fournier pulls it down.
That's really too easy a chance to miss, guys. He needs to be more aggressive and focused on his finishes.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, Kevin, Derek Fisher going straight from his playing to his new job as the Knicks head coach. He brushed aside questions about his lack of experience, saying, basketball is a game that I'm experienced in playing, understanding, leading in, and helping achieve the greatest gift in the world as an athlete, and that's being a champion. Not bad, guys.
No lack of confidence. He understands winning, Doris. Thanks. Samuel Dallenberg, who's checked in for Bargnani. Free throw good. Iman Shumpert.
Iman Shumpert, an aggressive perimeter defender with lockdown potential. Still very foul prone early in his career, but he's got a chance to be elite defensively as he continues to grow.
We've got 1:23 left in the third quarter. Here's Prigioni. Orlando grabs the miss. Defeated by the Wizards in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
Yeah, they were really in a funk from the field, guys. Credit the defense, definitely, but even when they got open looks, they were not hitting.
Hey, Steve, me and you flub up words and misstate things on occasion. So do these players have bad nights. It happens.
Here's Anthony on target from 13 feet. Anthony's got 16.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Here's Brunson, and it's Orlando with another.
Guys, he's shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
41 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Brihione, right now averaging 7 points a game. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Brihione's got 5 points now in the quarter.
They're straying away from the three-point game here in the second half. And that's fine as long as they're on the lead and they're getting good shots. They've decided not to take nearly as many three-pointers in this half.
Captain Clutch passes to Gordon. And he's good on the three ball. He's got 8.
I'll tell you what, the first half may have been a little slow, but both clubs really picking up the intensity here in the second.
I'll say that's for sure. I mean, things have really ramped up here.
1 second left, and again it's Orlando converting.
A mid-range jumper becomes a pretty high percentage shot for him when he has that kind of space.
And at the close of the third quarter, still a close game, and both teams putting up points in a hurry. Knicks lead by 3. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Yes, sir.
Tune in Sunday, February 22nd. Michael Carter-Williams and the Philadelphia 76ers take on Nikola Vucevic and the Orlando Magic. Live from Orlando, it's the real deal.
And now we present our State Farm assist of the game. With 5 total assists in the game, we've seen some great passing tonight from Calderon.
And his passing ability is why they make sure the offense.
Vucevic checked in for Maurice Harkless. And then for New York, Samuel Dallenberg, who's checked in for Stoudemire. And it's Amon Shumpert in for Tim Hardaway Jr. At the 2 and 3, it's Oladipo and Tobias Harris. Fry and Vucevic are the power forward and center. And it's Payton in at the 1. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Magic. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. Derek Fisher had some words for his team over that last break. It's been a hard-fought game, and he just wanted to give his guys a chance to catch their breath, saying, listen, we're right there. Let's make a push right here, put some pressure on them. Let's come out swinging. Kevin?
Stoudemire kicks to Smith, and he gets it to go. And the Knicks lead by 5. Orlando's gone 6 of 14 with the 3 ball tonight, just a little over 40%. And the shot goes in from Captain Clutch. Captain Clutch has got 20 points.
What an excellent performance from the field for him.
New York's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. Here's Calderon. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
It's been the story of the game for him. Fortunately, his teammates have bailed him out.
Harris passes to Captain Clutch. Good, and Harris gets the assist. And it's now 22 points for Captain Clutch.
I tell you what, you don't want to allow too many of those kinds of baskets with the game on the line.
Now, this is when defenses have to protect the basket with everything they've got. Force the offense to shoot from the perimeter.
The easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce pass.
Pass to Vucevic. To the inside. Here's Oladipo, and that is good. Oladipo's got 4 points this quarter.
Fantastic pass. He turned that one into a pretty easy basket for his teammate.
New York leading by 3. .152 left in the 4th quarter. Calderon dishes to Carmelo. Here's Dallenberg. And it's Orlando with the rebound. Fry's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's Oladipo. Smith with the block. Oladipo against Smith. Here's Captain Clutch. 6 on the shot clock. On target from 13 feet. And now just a 1-point Knicks lead.
That's how you get the crowd on its feet.
Huge bucket.
They've been waiting for that one, guys.
Calderon kicks to Anthony. Back to Calderon. Pass to Dallenberg. Some nice passing by New York here. Here's Stoudemire. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was...
Good work. Good work.
Oh, yeah, man.
He'll head to the free throw line. And Orlando may get a change here. Payton's checked in. She's checked in for Orlando. So New York going with almost an entire new group. Ramon Shumpert is checked in for Stoudemire. Hardaway comes in for Anthony. Pablo Prigioni is checked in for Smith. And it's Larkin in for Jose Calderon. Prigioni passes to Dallenberg. Dishes to Prigioni. New York needs to get off a shot. Larkin. The three-pointer, no good.
Good solid defense on the perimeter there, challenging the shot and not fouling.
Even the best shooter is bothered by his defense.
A different look for New York. Amare Stoudemire is checked in for Iman Shumpert. Anthony comes in for Pablo Prigioni. And it's Calderon in for Shane Larkin. But they'll get another chance.
Multiple possessions have been the story of the game, and even with the big lead, this team continues to be quicker to the ball.
And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
Yeah, no question the right call at this point. You can't let them just dribble it out.
That's right. I mean, you've got to send them to the line and hope for a few misses.
That's good, going 1 of 2 from the line, and that puts them up by 5. Here's Oladipo. Here's Captain Clutch. Misses.